Welcome everyone. Let's get going. As usual, by all means post any questions in the room on the chat box, and I will come to that. A lot to get through, so I'm just going to charge straight into this. I'm not sure where everybody is. Maybe the sun has kept everybody out. Right. What you're looking at the moment is the dollar index on the daily and the weekly chart, and you can see we are still sitting up very high, and these markets are still very fragile. All the time this dollar sits up, the US markets are potentially going to be really struggle to do anything. We have monthly jobs on Friday. We have Fed minutes in 2 hours before the close on Wednesday. Obviously, the US not with us today, being their crucial party day of the year. So, like I said, with all this, I think the key at the moment to the markets is inflation and the way in which this dollar is just sitting up, really sort of capping the ability for the markets to get any kind of upside momentum. All right, so let's kick off with the FTSE. The FTSE is all right, just. So big drop on the 16th. We just clambered up here, back up to the drop zone, and that's all. So this weekly chart is very feeble. And it's looking as if it could go either way. UK has got what have we got this week? We've got services, haven't we? Services data. I should know this off by heart, and I've forgotten. Yeah, we got Bank of England stability report for tomorrow and services. For some reason, they put the services in yellow, not because it's only PMI, it's not full-blown services. Yeah, so the main focus is Fed minutes and US jobs. All right, so German DAX is, of all the indices, this is by far the weakest. Oddly enough, my daughter runs a business in Berlin, working with some of the big retailers, Adidas and H&M and so on. She's just had her best month ever. The business is only 2 or 3 years old, but considering she works with retailers and this, which is a real sort of proxy really in my book. I mean, if the retailers and any sector exposed to the consumer can stand up, then that gives the markets a chance. But that's not showing through in this day. If we look at the daily chart on the right on this DAX, we look as if we need to see this 420 low, this 12,420 low, because this is just not got any momentum here. And if we do come down there and we don't hold, then we're going to dip down to 11,300. If we do the same with, let's look at the NASDAQ, because what the NASDAQ does, the rest of the market follows in my book. Pathetic at the moment, absolutely pathetic. We're down here at close to 2022 lows. We did have a reasonable amount of volume on the Friday, so perhaps we can get some follow through with that. If we do, we start to close above 11.6, then we should see 12,250 pretty quick. And if that 12,200 can hold, then we could get some sort of bounce here out of this funnel pattern. But in the meantime, we are divergent. This awesome oscillator is just like the MACD histogram. Just think of it as a MACD histogram, because that's all it is. So we're making new lows with higher lows here. So we look as if we're due a bounce. That's all I can say. But if we do lose our footing here, then these markets are going to get another leg down. So moving on, let's look at the gold is not doing it. We did have a higher close on Friday, but it looks to me as if they want to come and see 1780, 1775, 1780. Look at that weekly close. The close under a key support level. So I don't think the technical support about on this yet. I think this gold typically needs a good flush. Commodities in general, they like to, if they are range bound, they like to do a big flush before they'll pick up. So I think we could come and see this December low. May come all the way down there to 1750 at this rate, unless we turn around and can close above that 1815 in the next, well, this week, absolute latest. In the meantime, I still think that is lower. This is an 89-day average. You can see that's just tipping over, or has tipped over. All right, so like I said, if we can sustain 1815 plus, then we stand a chance, and silver is the same. Yeah, okay, I'll look at the Dow in a second. So dollar is king at the moment. Let's have a look at Bitcoin. Predicted that this drop in Bitcoin December 7th. Posted a chart about Bitcoin's gap, predominantly because of the gaps. So we filled this, we had a gap on just before Christmas 2020. We closed that gap on the 12th of June, and then we came to this extension level down here. I don't think there are any more significant gaps. So there were two gaps, and they've both been filled. Is that right? Pretty sure that is. Let's see if I get a bit more data on this. That's taken me to the monthly. No, I think that's all the gaps done. But Bitcoin does not look happy at all. If we can start to, I think we're still going to be lower. If we break this 17.7, I think we could come all the way to 10,000. Look at the volume picking up here. If you come down on volume, then that suggests that that is where the bulk of the pressure is, and we have certainly got the bulk of the pressure on the downside. Right, yeah, Christian wants me to look at Dow, so I'll go and do that. I trade the Dow every day of the week anyway, so Dow weekly. We did have a possible buy signal here, week beginning the 20th, 21st of June. And then we will had to end up with a spinning top last week. The last time we did that was end of May, and we had 2 weeks lower on the back of that. So if we can stay above 31,200 this week, I think we stand a chance of getting a bounce. Otherwise, Elliott Wave, where are we? Let's have a look. Well, I think Elliott Wave, we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's not done it for me as usual, because this tool is not very good. Let's try that one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've done it. So if we get a, so we're going A, B, C, we could potentially get a bounce here. Back up, yeah, 34,000 was my bounce territory, at which point I think we start all over again, potential new 5 and 3 wave move. So it's still a very bearish limp chart, but if after particularly Wednesday until the Wednesday close, and of course the non-farm payroll Friday close, if we can get any kind of bounce here, then yeah, like I said, 33 is the next stop, and then we could possibly go as far as 34,000, at which point we're going to start again. Okay, but in the meantime, the daily is well, Friday was a buy signal, short-term buy signal, new low, close above next day. So 32,300 is a possibility if we can get a leg up here. Very fragile, very, very fragile. And you can see this gap down on Sunday the 12th, which we only just backfilled on Friday the 24th. Took a whole week to backfill, and then we're still underneath that gap territory. So very weak, very fragile. Dollar dominates. Right, let's go straight. Let's look at a couple of commodities, and we'll go straight to stocks. Gas. Pulling back. I would give this another few weeks, because if we come back into 48.40, I'd start to buy. And then I'd hold out for the 10K mark, the 10 mark. Wheat is not doing it. It's not. So I can only assume that that dollar is playing a key part in this. So I was in this and I'm backed out. I was not leveraged, so it's not a big issue. I'm going to wait and see where this is going to land, because this is a significant drop. So $8 would make sense. Where are we now? We're at $8.45.50. Might even do a full. I'm very surprised with this week. Very, very surprised. I thought that would sit up. The corn, obviously, corn is, that's just backfilled. We had a gap up there from the 4th of Feb. That's just backfilled. So that's got me interested. So that was a high of $8.20. That's now close to six bucks. So I'm going to get back in these if they start to prove that they can push up. Oil. So we had a flat week last week. I'm looking to short into last Wednesday's. Well, I think we can recover to last Wednesday's level, at which point I think that could roll over. Typically, I mean, the dry season's underway now. The US dry season. Believe it or not, that is still a key driver for oil. So cyclically, oil would normally start to pull right back this time of year, as would gas. At the moment, you can see the couple of days of higher closes here. So the main issue is 115. So we could go and find 115. Certainly, you know, all the time you've got higher closes, all the time, particularly as you close up above the 20-day average, that has got potential for some high numbers. Right, let's go into one last look. Let's look at high grade copper. No, that's just come off. And ordinarily, this is a good indicator of the housing market. If the copper comes off, then that could be a sign the housing market is, well, judging by that, it's already wobbling. We'll look at that in a second. Right, stocks. Okay, I've talked about housing with copper. Let's have a look at housing. Let's look at Persimmon. I will look at some US stocks. We are definitely trying to bounce. We have picked up in volume here. I do not like this sector, but anybody that does like this sector, I mean, I look at that bar on Thursday and think, you know, we're all we're doing is clawing back from that drop on Thursday. We're not, the volume is picking up, but it's not for me. But I mean, if you like to trade reversals, it's certainly, if you look at the weekly chart, we were completely flat last week. Volume has picked up, so there's a chance that could pull back to the 21 mark, but not for me. Barrett Developments, I need to quick lower. Galliford's leave well alone. Actually, it's sitting up a lot better than the others. That's really sitting up quite well. Taylor Woodrow. It's hit an extension down there. I mean, it could be a recovery stock, but like I said, I'm not trading it. I don't like it. I don't like the sector. Right. I'm going to look at basic materials. Elementis chemical. That is a decent close. We've engulfed the last 2 days of trading in this pickup here. So I would love to try and buy a pullback of 98.99 in this, but I'm not going to give it a lot of room. If it gets under 95, I'm out. I'll give it a little bit more wiggle room than that, but as the markets are so fragile, the volumes are not brilliant. That's not come up on significant volume, so I'm going to take a half position size because the volume is not significant, but I will take a half size at 98 with a stop under 94. Man Group, it's been on a brilliant run. Volumes are very high, and that's sitting on 2021 highs. So that looks if that can go back to 260 plus. If, however, that's a significant lower close on Friday. So I'm not in this, and I'm not buying high. So I'm going to step aside. TPI cap is lower. That is we're coming down on higher volume. So we look as if we could come and see the pound mark. Had a really nice run up here in March, but they're just getting out of it, and the volume supports a lower number at the moment. However, if we come into a pound 3 and start getting a higher close, or even get a higher close where we are from here, that could pick up. but it is very weak. Glencore. You know, these bigger stocks, this went on a really, come on. It looks to me as if we could come and see that go under £4 again. However, if we start closing higher here, we could go back to that, you know, a really good run, doesn't it? I'm just very, very cautious. I think, you know, sometimes you just need, you know, cash is a position. And at the moment, that position is looking very attractive. Rio. So I've had some good trades out of this year. But maybe the weak metals and the copper is dragging this down, because that at the moment that still looks lower. Well, I'll keep a very close eye on it, because if we hold here on volume, I will get back into Rio. Right, that's basic materials. Anything you want me to look at, then you give me a shout. Let's look at consumer. We looked at Boo last week. It's just about clinging on. Not much more than that. ASOS. Beginning to, we're seeing some higher volume here, but wow, that's unless that closes above the 10, then I would stay away. Now, however, the supermarkets are looking a lot better. There's some volume coming to Sainsbury's off of those lows. If you look at the weekly, this is a very good support area. But you know, that could lose its footing. That could so lose its footing and come all the way back down to 2020 lows. But we have had some higher volumes, some higher closes. I'm not very inspired to trade that personally. Tesco's is better. That push up on the 24th seems to have got everybody interested. Not convinced that can go a long way. 260, 270 maybe. If it gets a bit of a run and some momentum behind it, you might see 280. But at the moment, I don't think you can get more out of that. Chewy. Yuck. Yeah, this is the major holiday play, and this is in a very poor way. So much of their opposition has been knocked out that, wow, that was up there at 1680 plus. So if that can get above 222, then it might stand a chance, but not good. What are your views on that? Anybody in Chewy? Anybody wanting to be in Chewy? For that to recover, that's got to get above 155 minimum from in my book. It's coming down on lower volume. So, you know, that's a real concern. If these big stocks can't do it, what can? EasyJet, yuck. Lower. IAG Airlines, lower. Looks like they could see 98 and even lower. Let's look at my short Card Factory. I hope Card Factory gets a bounce off of this key support here. So I'm out of this short. I would love to get back in as close as I can to 60. 55, 56 is a major resistance level. If it closes back under 44, then that's going to go down to 30 pretty quick. Shoe zone. Jet 2, okay. Had a really good week last week. No, that very odd. I think this is for me a bear rating, potential bear rating dream. If this can go any higher into this £192, great. I'll short it. I'm not in this yet. If we can, but I'm going to start to offer out at 190. Jet 2. Lower. Had some sort of attempt to cling on Friday. Today we've closed lower. If it can get back above 920 in the next 48 hours, you can't see shoe on CMC. No, that's a bit weird. I would dump CMC then. When I was working in the industry, CMC was the real yeehaw of the group. Cowboys. No doubt they've changed since. Right, let's look at this ABF. Because there is some volume coming back in this. If they've just opened, I think it's not sure if it's an online trial or you know, a complete online operation, but if that holds that level, we could start working our way back up here. As you can appreciate, I don't like the sector, but there is some pickup in volume. It's still, if I were to go in it, I would only go half size given the sector and etc. But I'm not inclined to trade that yet. But if we do get a close above 1630 in the next 48 hours, I think that could do something right. W.H. Smith's, yuck. Lower. Right, that's enough of that sector. I'm going to look at let's look at financial. Barclays, not bad. Not brilliant. It's still under the 20-day average on the daily, so very vulnerable. That needs to close above 160 in the next 48 hours to have any chance of picking up. Lloyd's, not good at all. I wouldn't touch it unless that closes above 45 on volume. Standard Chartered. Whoa, that's quite a contrast. That's really sitting up well. I think this is one of those stocks that benefits from a strong dollar. Prue. It's not bad. These weekly charts have had decent volume in them. We've had a few weeks in the last month or two of very handsome volume. I do like the business model. I think it's got a much better business model now. Let's come out of that. Let's look at, we've not looked at healthcare for a while. Glaxo, GSK, doing well. Amazon, AstraZeneca, not Amazon. Yeah, so look, this sector is really good. Let's look at that. What's that stock called? You want to look at HSBC, okay. Not bad. It's not too dissimilar to Standard Chartered sitting up. The volume seems to be flagging up here. I think that one definitely needs to get at least Wednesday out of the way, the Fed minutes out of the way. If the Fed show any hesitation on the rate rise cycle, that could really give this market a lift. I wanted to look at that biotech, Valneva, that's it. I couldn't remember the name. It's listed in France, listed in the US. Yeah, this had an incredible bounce. One of the big boys took a big stake in it. It's got a COVID drug. It dropped because there was doubt whether they could get the drug through the phase 3. But one of the big boys has come in and bought a big stake. It's not, I can't remember which one is it. I can't remember who's bought the stake now. Anyway, I think this is, if we come back into this big 20th of June bar, I think this is a great pullback. It's possible we could see 790 again, I don't know. But €9 plus, and I think that's got potential. I think this is an impulse wave, pullback, and then wave 3 could at least take it into 1875 or €2,000. We saw similar here, 1, 2, 3. So these are the kinds of stocks, if I'm going to buy something, these are the kinds of stocks I like. We've not looked at energy. Your Tullow has got beaten up today. And it got beaten up on Friday, now it's just trying to recover. It is picking up in volume down here, so this pullback might well get buyers interested. 41 is the big fire line, so it might come and see 41, 40, 41. Which I think will potentially be a nice place to get into this if it does it. I would stalk a lower number in that one and see if I can pick up a lower number. Petrofact, saw that resistance of 160. It's trying to cling on to 120. There was a bit more volume there today. So it's certainly a support level that we're at. Your SQZ, that's a decent pickup in volume today. So 285 is a pullback on that one. That's quite a nice chart actually. I think that's got potential. I think that's could at least see 330. So I would I'd be interested in a pullback on that one. What else have we got? Gulf, Keystone has pulled right back to a key support area. BP trying to recover. What else have I got? This LAM. Is this an oil services company? LAM. I think it is, isn't it? Is it Lamprell? This is one that you're looking at, Andy, isn't it? So at one stage it was 87. Key support, wow, really dropped hard, hasn't it? So this May 2020 low was breached and we closed above. I think there are pullbacks and there are hard drops, and I think this is definitely the latter. I mean, that's a significant volume that's come in on that, but that could just be short covering. Well, I suppose if you can pick up 6.5 with a stop under 4.7, but it's certainly a massive area. But wow, that's a horrible chart in my book. Right, let's look at what else am I going to look at? Let's just go off piste a bit. Rolls-Royce is trying to hold. The volumes have been improving on this. I am in this one. Taking a bit of heat. So, I mean, the jury's out. If we can, the obvious thing I'm going to say is, if we can close above £1, then, but we're still some way off of that. We're down here at 85, 86. Volumes have been improving, but they're not brilliant. It's still a risk. You know, there's any trade's a risk, isn't it? The weekly was better. I mean, I think you've got an option of trying to bid at 84, 85 with a stop under 79. But you know, it's a big risk out there. We didn't look at the miners, did we? Pan-African is, I'm in this one as well. Just bought back into this. Its volumes are now this is good. The volumes are picking up. We had a very nice close on Thursday. We're still in the Thursday zone at the moment. So fingers crossed for that one. Vodafone, better. These Vodafone and BT are potentially good cash cows. You know, got good. This kind of market does like companies that have got good cash flows, and these two have got good cash flows. When people have problems with their incomes, they do tend to want to keep their mobiles going. and their broadband going. So these two cash generating companies are the lows getting bought. I much prefer Vodafone of the two, but they are both an option. Right, anybody want me to look at anything else? I've covered a lot of ground, but I'm going to leave it there. Let me just, what else am I looking at? John, yeah, you were looking at John Wood. What's IES? I don't know that. Let's look at John Wood. Wow, it's a very important level for this one. And that is actually, that is a reversal signal. New low, immediate close above, volume has improved. So John Wood is a reversal. If you're interested, I'll try and bid at 150. We close at 155. I would jump ship if that got anything under 144. I'd give it a bit of wiggle room, but had a really nice run from 7th of April. Oil services. I don't know why I had it in my head they were property. I don't know why. So I think that's a reversal. What it is a technical reversal. Whether or not it can push up, well, hey, with any situation like that, it's up for grabs. Right, there's no more questions coming in anyway. I will leave it there. You can always drop me an email, or if you're anybody not in the Telegram room, anybody logged in here that's not in the Telegram room, I'll send you the link. I think everybody is. Right, okay, well, here's the link anyway. Right, I'm going to go and eat. So thanks, guys. Take it easy, play safe out there. Yeah, keep an eye on that dollar strength and the Nasdaq, because everything is still very fragile. But yep, see you next week. Thanks, guys. Bye.